Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Westport Board of Health, August 18th, 2025 meeting, which I am calling to order under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F. This meeting is being recorded. And please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll try not to sneeze on the mic this time.
Okay, so first item on the agenda, Director's Report.
Oh, okay.
Any comments or questions from any of the board members?
No, Madam Chair.
All right, we'll have you do your update, Matt.
Okay, I'm just going to run through mine real quick and then I'm going to turn it over to Olive. So the new universal waste shed has been installed at the transfer station, as you can see from the picture. This is where we take the bulbs and mercury devices, so fits in nicely down there. And thank you again to Covanta for funding this. The fire chief and I attended a meeting with representatives from Code Red, which is an emergency notification system designed to help the public safety and health agencies quickly send targeted alerts to the community. The platform supports multiple channels, including voice calls, SMS, text messages, and email, and a mobile app. And it ensures timely and reliable communication through this system. The system would be especially valuable during extreme weather events, shelter openings, infectious disease outbreaks, and other public health and safety situations.
Matt, is this equivalent to a reverse 911, or is it different?
It's a little bit different. I think it does a lot of the same things, but I think for different, broader type things rather than just 911 type of things.
And is there a cost, Matt, for that?
Yep, the yearly cost is I think $7,000. Not too bad considering the positive impacts it will have for the community.
Okay, thank you.
The animal control van AC quit, but we had that fixed. Wasn't too bad of a price, so that's the AC is up and running again. The transfer station roll-off truck tarp had to be replaced, and there was several fluid leaks that had to be repaired. The cost of the repairs was around $6,100, which was 68% of the vehicle repair budget for FY26. Since then, we've spent another $1,400 in repairs. The solenoid for the PTO seized on Saturday morning, so we had to get that up and get that repaired this morning, and we got the truck back later on this afternoon. So we're eating up quite a bit of the budget early for truck repairs at the transfer station, but hopefully, we'll be good for the rest of the year. On August 12th, I attended a MEMA tabletop exercise, and thanks to the Chief Baldwin for organizing the training. It was very valuable. It was highly informative and reinforced the importance of clear communication and collaboration amongst all town agencies to effectively promote those affected by extreme weather events. I think the takeaway from that meeting was we have a lot of work to do to be able to respond as, to just respond appropriately. I mean, the communication it's broken. We need to come up with, so we need to come up with a way to communicate effectively for these types of events.
And when you say communication, is it just between the departments or with our community as well?
I think both. Really, there should be a emergency management team, right, that meets before these events and comes up with a plan of action. And then during those meetings, we would come up with a plan to effectively communicate out to the public. So we all know that needs to be done. We just really need to come together and come up with a good plan to achieve all of that.
Phil, did you go to the meeting or no?
And then on August 13th, I met with the electronic software company Permitize, and we only had a 1-hour time limit they set for the meeting, so we were unable to cover everything as planned. But I've since emailed all our revised permits, applications to them, and once their team has completed their review, they will reschedule a follow-up meeting in the coming weeks. So we're still, trying to plug through this electronic permitting stuff, but we're making progress finally with that. And with that, I will turn it over to Olive for the collaborative monthly report, which is the first one.
The inaugural report.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. To the folks who might be watching, my name's Olive Wachurski, and I'm the Shared Services Coordinator for the South Coast Public Health Collaborative. This is the monthly report for kind of July/August, since we're still kind of in the middle of August. So this is not a complete overview. I'm sure there's something missing, but I tried to get as much as I possibly could included in here. So in the last month, we have started the fall vaccination campaign, and we've added vaccine education materials to our collaborative website, as well as made printouts that people can take home or things that they can print themselves with the current guidance, because the rules are always changing with the current administration, so it can be kind of confusing. We want to try to encourage as many people as possible to get their vaccines and make it as clear as they possibly can. I created, yes?
Sorry to interrupt. Can you remind people of the website?
Oh yes, the website is scphc.org. And there is a special vaccination guidance section under the Resources Library tab. Yeah. I created harm reduction fact sheets for the collaborative. Those are also available on the website. It's just basic information about what harm reduction is to kind of answer people's, basic questions. I also want to print them out and have them available at all of our events, along with Narcan, just because it's important to get that information out there. Similarly, we ordered 48 boxes of Narcan in anticipation of the federal funding ending for that program. And we also got 4 Nalox boxes that we're planning on putting around town, in addition to the 3 that I worked with STAR to install earlier in the year.
Can you, again, just for the general audience, remind people what Narcan and...
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Narcan is a nasal spray medication that reverses opioid overdoses. And it's safe, and there are no dangerous side effects, and everybody should carry it with them. I have been assisting with the Westport Planning Department for their emergency preparedness event. They're working on MVP 2.0. And so we've been meeting often and trying to figure out ways to engage, kind of like what Matt was discussing earlier. How do we get people talking about emergency preparedness in the town, and what can we offer folks? So we've put together a bunch of, I think there's 500 bags of emergency, it's like a little kit for all kinds of emergencies. There's like a blanket, one of those blankets that you use when it's really cold. It's like aluminum.
Yeah.
Cold and hot packs, whistles. I'm missing a lot of different things, and then we've also made printed materials. Dia in the planning department came up with a campaign called Westport Ready. And so we've created a checklist of things that people should have with them. And we're trying to come up with like games and kind of interactive activities for the event that's on the 23rd here in Westport. Yes.
I believe it's
23rd of this month.
Is it at Our Lady of Grace Church on Sanford Road?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There is a health fair in Freetown on the 18th of September, and we purchased many items for that event and delivered them to Freetown. Some of them were similar to kind of what we're working on here with MVP, but But then a lot of it was just like basic health stuff. We got them tick education, tick repellent. We got them electrolyte stuff to put in their water, cooling packs, heating packs, all kinds of things so that people can, you know, take advantage of that health fair over there. During the wildfire smoky days here, we were monitoring the air quality pretty closely. I was checking 3 times a day and keeping track, looking at all of our purple air sensors. The highest during that week was 134 on August 5th at the fire station down here. And the lowest was at the watershed on the 8th, and that was just 11. So it went really bad and then really good. The worst day was the 5th, and the best day was the 8th during that week. I have created materials for Marion for their emergency preparedness presentations that they're doing. They're doing a series at COA and a couple other community buildings. And then also for tick education, I have made kind of packets that educate people on the ticks that are in our area, the most prevalent ticks in our area, and then just general tick education, which I spoke about last time I spoke to you all. We posted our shared services health specialist position. We are still waiting to find people to interview for that. We are working with UMass. They have a public health internship program, and we would love to get an intern here in Westport, so we're working with them to try to make that happen. We have updated all the Westport applications and complaint forms so that they will work with electronic editing software, trying to keep us updated, moving with the times. We have conducted 16 plus inspections in Freetown, Rochester, and Lakeville, so towns across the collaborative. What else? We hired Catherine Cabral for this shared services health specialist role. She started on the 11th, and she's going to be taking the CPO training, which is the certified pool operator training, on October 2nd and 3rd, and ServSafe on August 26th, and then hopefully the SE and SI classes in the spring. We're going to have vaccine clinics for flu and RSV across the collaborative. We are going to try to plan a MEMA full day disaster training inspired by the event that Matt went to. We're preparing for 2 other fall trainings, one for food truck inspections and another harm reduction and stigma training, similar to the one that we hosted in November. So we're working with STAR and UMass again for that one, and it's going to be at UMass this time around. And then I have updated the website, again, scphc.org, with our FY25 report, the full report for the collaborative, fall vaccine guidance, and immigrants' rights information, so that they have access to that in several different languages. Those are the big ones. Oh, one more that I forgot. We are completing and submitting the reporting for the DEP mini grant, so the bicycle grant, in October. So we have to make sure that all of those things are completed over at the transfer station by then. And that's it.
Great.
Any questions?
No, but you omitted the fact that you helped the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee meet some of their goals and participate in disseminating information to the public for our police night out.
Thank you. I feel like you're giving me a little too much credit for that. But
No. I mean, you've been available to help with education and community, and especially with the committee that I'm chair of. It's been really helpful.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, it really just demonstrates the worth of the Public Health Excellence Grant that Westport received, and it allows us to collaborate with those other communities to really do a lot more outreach and resource support. So I appreciate all that you're doing. Thank you.
All right.
It's a pretty broad spectrum of things that are happening, so that's great.
Yeah.
And especially around the emergency planning and preparedness, I think that's
not a strength of this town currently, so working on that, focusing on that is really helpful.
Yeah, we're trying to improve. All right.
Great.
Well,
Thanks
thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
So is this going to be done every month, or how is this going to work with the report?
We haven't decided if it's gonna be once a month or once a quarter,
A
but
quarter.
we'll see. I mean, if we have a busy month, we may wanna report it in the month. If not, it'll be once a quarter.
And I again think it's really important that the community knows the benefit that's occurring because of this grant. That this is how this is put into action in our town as well as in other towns. But I really think it's important that people know what's happening. So thank you, Olive, for all you're doing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to minutes. We have August 11th special. We have
We just have one, right?
Well, we have the regular minutes from August 4th in our packet, but the agenda is,
Oh, yes.
what do we do about that?
You can only approve the ones that, do you have the ones in your packet from August 11th?
We don't have.
Then we just gotta,
So we'll have to skip that.
yeah, skip it, yeah.
Do them, okay, we'll pass over.
So August 11th is not in packet.
Right,
okay.
and we have the August 8th minutes. Just, we won't vote on them, we'll have to wait until they're on the agenda, but did anybody have any problems with the August 8th minutes? Because they were in our packet. Just so we can clean them up if we need to. I'm sorry, August 4th, sorry, my apologies.
August 4th.
The last regular meeting.
I have no
Okay.
changes or to add to that.
Okay, so we'll just hold those until we get them on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay, moving on to other business before appointments. So first request is appoint Catherine Cabral as an agent of the Board of Health. Our last vote was to recommend hiring her, and now she needs to formal appointment as agent of the Board of Health. Matt, anything you want to add to that?
She's been training a lot, doing a lot of the required trainings that is prescribed by DPH and myself. So she's been working hard at that. She's got a couple of trainings coming up. One in the 26th for her ServSafe, and then again for her CPO. The SE soil elevator class, I mean, it opened up on one day and filled up in the same day. And I've kind of sent an email off to the state saying, you've got to, this happens all the time, and there's just not enough, they don't have enough availability. They need to put another training together to, allow more people to attend. It happens all the time. So we were right on top of it. She still didn't get in. So, but that's a requirement. She needs, she needs to have that in order to go do perks and on her own and inspections. But for now, she's just going to shadow John. Tomorrow, she's going to shadow Ed out in Lakeville on some stuff, and we'll just keep her going that way with Title V until she's able to get through these trainings and certifications.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I would take a motion to appoint Catherine Cabral as agent of the Board of Health.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve Catherine Cabral as agent of the Board of Health. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, thank you. Next, I think we had tentatively suggested a reschedule date already for this September 1st, which would be Labor Day meeting. And I just wanted to make sure that we are all, I think people had to check their calendars. So we had proposed September 3rd at 4 p.m. So moving it from Monday to Wednesday. Is that
Works fine. Works for me.
okay?
I think that's okay.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and take a motion to reschedule the September 1st meeting to September 3rd at the same time, 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, thank you. Moving on to board member updates.
Just to say, sometimes there's Wednesday night meetings. I'm gonna have to check the calendar and make sure this room's not booked and make sure there's no other meeting going on.
Okay, well, yeah,
If there's a problem, I'll get back to you. If there's no problem, then you won't hear from me.
okay. Okay,
Usually later in the day though, right?
Yeah, usually it's 6:30. Okay, board member updates. Anybody wanna go first?
I think that's,
You can report on police night out.
yes, it was, I thought it went really well. First of all, kudos to the police department for pulling that together, and there was a really good turnout. As far as the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee survey, we were able to get 40 people at the event to complete a survey. My understanding is that there were some that were going to turn them in. I don't know if we received any in the Board of Health. They said they were going to drop them off to the Board of Health.
There was some that were left in the cubby down here that I had given to Nancy to put in an envelope for you.
Okay.
So she might have those upstairs.
So maybe a little over 40 surveys were completed, which is very helpful, and we were very, I think the incentive was helpful, but some people opted to not take it and just fill out a survey, which I thought was great. So it was successful, and we were able to hand out Narcan and do some education. We did a lot of education about what the advisory committee is about, and about the funds, because I had a spreadsheet of how much money we have, and people looked at that and said, we have that much money to spend. I says, and we're getting more. And now I received a new announcement about the Sackler family. Their suit, the settlement, and we're getting more too, almost $100,000 more into the pot. I'm not sure how that's going to come in and when that's going to come in, but we'll have over $1 million by 2038, so we can do some good stuff. And I'm happy that we do have the superintendent of schools who's going to be on the committee, so I'm hoping to get some of the funds for the students at the middle high school and even the elementary school. So
Great. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess the only thing I can think of is that the Pine Ridge Estates saga should be closing tomorrow when the ZBA is meeting. So the most recent draft of the comprehensive permit included the language related to the conditions for the perk test of which I think will, if not get this applicant, get a subsequent applicant to either achieve 30 or get as close to 30 minutes per inch, as feasible. And then when I read this most recent draft, it had provisions for operation and responsibility for operation and maintenance of the stormwater system by the applicant and the homeowners association, but they didn't say anything about the shared septic system. So I got them to amend the permit to include that, which will be helpful when an application actually comes in, because the regulations require a financial assurance mechanism for shared systems. And so this kind of creates a framework for that. So I'm expecting that the permit will be approved, but we'll see what happens. And I'm going to go there.
Okay. So I have a couple of updates. First off, as you know, we voted at town meeting to support, town meeting voted to support funding for a household hazardous waste day, and I have a tentative date of March 28th, 2026 for that. And I have a verbal okay to do it at behind the old high school, as we did a few years ago. So there'll be lots of planning associated with that, but we're just trying to lock in the date. I know that they're Saturdays. I don't want to do it. He offered me Wednesdays. Too many people are working; they can't come. So Saturdays are very limited. So that's why I was like trying to get on the docket early. So there's that. I know, or I looked up. I know the Cape is in moderate drought status, not the rest of the state is not yet, but the drought advisory committee doesn't meet again until September. But if my yard is any indication, it's getting pretty dry out there. So I think we should remind people about limiting watering, and we don't have the legal basis to do that yet if there's no drought declaration, but people should be proactive around that, because I don't know if we had any reports of wells running dry yet. No, well, that's good. So that's just the next drought committee meeting is not till September, so I didn't see a whole lot of rain in the forecast. So people should just be mindful, because we don't want wells running dry. So follow up from our working meeting, I started putting together the list based on our priority areas for outreach to homeowners about we don't know your septic status, and if it's an old home, it could be a cesspool. So I think I've done about 40 or 50. Catherine is actually just going back to the files to verify that we still don't have any information. So that's sort of going to be a pilot group, and she'll help me with continuing to work on that. Also, we talked about 2 amendments to the septic regulation, one around the total nitrogen testing requirement, just having the first 2 years, and the default being no further testing unless something comes up. What was the other one? Oh, the ADU, accessory dwelling unit, the definition. So I've drafted some proposed changes of wording to the reg, but I haven't had a chance to go over that with Matt. So probably sometime in September we'll do a hearing around that. I'll share it with you obviously beforehand. And the last thing I wanted to mention, in case you're not aware, Corin Peterson, who was the Vice President of Advocacy at the Buzzards Bay Coalition 20 years or so, has just left her position. She left on Friday. I was there at a leadership meeting. And she has been a real great support to the Board of Health around the reg development, around mapping cesspools, just around trying to get support for funding or strategies for funding septic upgrades. They worked hard on the sewer line extension, trying to make the case for that. So it'll be a real loss. But I just want to let folks know that she has moved on, and hopefully they'll find an equally strong person to take on that role going forward, because they have been a real resource and support for us. Okay.
You're also reminding me about one of the things that was on the agenda for me to do, which I've already pulled the pulled the policy to take a look at it. I'm going to meet with, try to schedule a time with Matt to meet and look at it.
Okay, great. Actually, since we have a minute or two before the meeting, before our 4:30 hearing, and the chair or a member at least of the beach committee is here, so we can we ask him about how dogs on the beach have been this year? Because I know we haven't had the animal control.
I can give you an answer. There's been a certain problem at certain times, and it's mostly the morning.
Okay.
And there's still a perception that as long as lifeguards out there, you're okay to bring a dog, right? The fortunate or best thing is there hasn't been a lot of nesting plovers this year, so there's not a lot of disruption in that area. Actually, most of the fencing is actually on private beaches, but there were 2 pair. I think one nest failed. I think that's the last report. But they're still seeing people in the morning, particularly. It seems to be people who live in the area more than anything else, because they don't seem to be parking there, because I'm opening the gates and there's no cars there. So my guess is it's neighborhood, or they found a good place to park.
Okay. We're looking at our called the sanitary dog regulation, which is very old in town, and trying to clean that up. So just was wondering how that was going at the beach.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, that part of it picking up after themselves. People have been very good this year, better than usual. But I don't know if that's lack of number or lack of, people on the beach. Hard to say.
All right, great. Thank you for that update. I'm sorry, impromptu.
No problem.
Take advantage of your presence. Okay, we're going to call the 4:30 p.m. variance hearing, which was continued from 2 weeks ago. NEC Engineering, Sean Leach representing for 147E Cadman's Neck. You can stay seated. Roland Sullivan, LE, 2-bedroom pair with Elgin on a 3,045 square foot lot, which actually we are going to propose a continuance for. Because the plan didn't come in until late Thursday afternoon, and we have received no written guidance as to what exactly changed on that, so it's really hard to evaluate.
Okay. So
If you'd like to give a overview, but we will need to continue since we haven't really been able to fully evaluate.
well, the only thing that was required was some wording on the variance required, requirement of site does not meet required 50-foot setback between proposed septic and leach field required as well due to property setback constraints and due to the fact that this is a very small lot, essentially. And I think that was requested at the previous meeting for this particular well. Because if we have a small lot, obviously we were fortunate enough to be able to fit a septic system with D-Night and everything as requested. But we have to move the well, otherwise the well, which was 15 feet from its existing cesspool, not a good idea for obvious reasons. So we're moving the well, and we're being Cadman's Neck, because it's a very tight area. You can't get 100 feet from everybody else's well. It's just physically impossible.
Has the well location moved from the last plan?
It was shown on this plan, but I think there was a request for the note, from my understanding.
Yeah,
I
well,
think we haven't had a chance to fully review it because we didn't get an updated cover sheet with, I think there are fewer variances, but it's not clear. I think we will need to vote on it in 2 weeks, what I would appreciate is a description of what has changed. So you can give us a verbal description, but we don't.
Yeah, so basically we shifted over the proposed well maybe a couple feet just to show that requirement of 10 feet off the property line. And then we also took out some LUA requirements based off of our last hearing of the 75 versus 50, and that was the only thing that has changed other than the verbiage of the variance required section that we added.
Okay. So the well has been moved from the prior location, from what
just
you
to show the setbacks, yeah.
To meet the 10-foot setback.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All
That
right.
was the abutter's concern, I remember that.
I believe one of the abutters is here, Mr. Allen?
Yeah, that was my concern.
Yeah. So the concern is his well is inside his house, and the concern is, I guess you can speak to the concern.
All I brought up was that there was a requirement for 10 feet from the property line,
Right.
therefore preventing or helping minimize project.
Okay. So it is now 10 feet from the property line.
Correct.
And that request has been dropped from the list. Okay. Let me just, because we didn't get an updated, a narrative explaining what had changed, it's really hard to evaluate. There's a lot of information on one sheet with no description. I mean, the narrative description for the variance request is the generic language, so it wasn't clear which ones had dropped from, like, your cover letter outlines exactly what request you're making. So it's hard for us to make a motion because we don't know which ones have changed.
yeah, I don't have a list of, like your original cover list, like this, showing what you need, but,
What we're requesting.
yeah.
And just a narrative explaining the change.
Because I didn't quite understand the change, but now I do. But I didn't understand it because there was nothing for me to review it with. So
Okay.
So there's nothing we can do tonight, is what you're saying?
Well, let me see what other board members, are you comfortable with the verbal explanation?
I am, but we could approve with the condition that they present a cover letter and map.
So I'd be okay if you guys voted, and if you guys all voted to approve it tonight, condition that you just send me the list, I can review it just to be the final, yeah, this looks good, and then just move it on from that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine, because two of them really dropped off the waiver list.
Right.
And then just, the only thing substantively is adjusting the distance from the property line. And so, yeah, I think we could do it.
Well, is somebody able to make that motion with all the conditions, all the LUAs and conditions? Because I'm not ready.
Would this help? I think this might be the most updated one, but you'd have to minus the 2 off that they dropped off.
One of you can indicate which ones, what has changed.
Okay, but 8 and 9? The ones that haven't changed, so we request
Correct.
all, okay,
Yes.
so, going to read these, would that be simpler or?
There might be something on the back too.
Yes.
You marked NA for the 8 and 9.
Yeah,
That was taken off.
these
Okay,
are
so it's
marked
in there.
not applicable, 8 and 9, and 13 and 14, I guess. Are the minimum setback requirements for the property line?
And those are eliminated,
Yes.
so not applicable. So we have, instead of 14, we would have 10. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because I think, does the plan say, I thought I counted 11, so.
There's no wetlands issues here. This is the center of that. All the setbacks are basically well setbacks to, and regarding abutter site well. Basically, it's all like.
So because all of these are, the uncorrected ones are in the existing plan, would you submit a plan that has all these corrected in it? Because
This plan is corrected.
okay,
Plan.
okay,
That would-
okay, all right.
The
Okay.
plan, the new plan is the corrected plan.
But that, so we don't have the full, all we have is what you emailed us. Right, because I don't think you didn't drop off new plans?
Nancy asked us to email it to put in your packet for the review.
Yeah.
And then bring you 5 copies of the existing plan tonight.
Okay, all right.
Subject to the vote.
Okay, so,
Just double check.
They're stamped revised plans.
Yeah.
The latest date on this plan is 8th of August 2025.
Mhm.
And the variances are
so the one on
Yeah,
the,
let me just,
so this one on my screen has an April 1st date and a June 10th date. It doesn't have a August date.
Should have a variance comments revision number 3.
You want this help, Phil?
Oh, I'm not on this plan, I'm just saying what's on the,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
but
So we have a revised plan, so we could act on the
Okay,
revised
those-
plan. I was just, okay.
That
so-
should be the one that should be in your tablet. That's the one that Nancy uploaded from their email.
Okay,
Yeah, it should be maybe.
okay,
a little
well,
bit
it's
more.
not, the August
Okay,
8th
so-
date is not in, is what is not in the,
Okay.
what's here. But my comment is what you're saying is that these are the corrected.
Yes.
Okay, so, and in the past, all we've done is say that we approve when we've had these many waivers, that we have just say that we approve the waivers as set out in the plan.
Well, I'm trying to verify them, so let me just,
So, but it's not gonna,
Easier to,
it's not gonna be in there, because if we're looking at the same plan, it isn't August updated.
there should be a revision 3 above the title block that says August 20.
I know, but it's not there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it's
Yeah.
not there.
yeah.
Okay. It's in the hard copy here, but on the hard plan, but it's not here on the page.
Patients.
It's not what it's uploaded.
Patients. Conditions 6.6, okay. Okay, property line, the 147E Cadman's Neck is still on the list in your plan, but you were just telling me it was not applicable. So,
Oh, the leach field.
So that one's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that one's fine. The only thing that moved, the leach field hasn't moved. It's always had a request for less than 5 feet.
right,
Only the well has moved to meet the requirement of 10 foot.
okay, so the leach field is still the 4.36?
Correct.
Okay, so that is applicable, and then 1.63, the leach field, okay. Property line 2, septic, tank, no, leach field, septic, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, the other, I mean, I don't know, do you wanna, I'm comfortable just referencing the ones on the plan at this point, because there's so many, and it's not productive, I think, to list them all.
Yeah, it was just reference the revised August 8th plans.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
It's revised August 8th, but stamped 8/12.
Yes, it's there.
He signed it 8/12.
Yeah, but when we refer to the plan date, we refer to the date that the plan was prepared.
okay. So
Okay.
is somebody prepared to make a motion?
So I'm just, so it needs Concom review, it needs the local waivers that are set out in the plan, it needs a hold harmless agreement, it needs well testing at
That's
the,
well testing been done.
at the
No, but the 3 years of well testing.
3 years of well testing, and I'm not gonna, okay, and,
Deeds
okay,
of,
I can,
deed restriction,
okay,
right?
so, all right, so I will try, and then I know people will
Jump
correct
in.
me. All right, so I will move to approve the plan at, for Roland Sullivan LE at 147E Cadman's Neck Road, subject to our Conservation Commission approval. How many bedrooms?
2.
A 2-bedroom deed restriction, local upgrade waivers as set out in the plan dated August 8th, 2025. 3 years of well testing for the properties at 147E, 147G, 161 Cadman's Neck, 147D Cadman's Neck, and 147F Cadman's Neck, and a hold harmless agreement.
Okay. Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the project for 147E Cadman's Neck Road with those conditions. All
Is it other condition a letter that has all that written on it for Matt, or not?
It's there, right now.
I think we have it on the plan.
Okay.
Are you,
Okay.
I have it outlined here. I think.
That's an older list, but I'm fine with it. It's all on the plan. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded to approve the project at 147 E Cabins Neck Road with those conditions. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. And Bob, you got them all? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is this ours? This is ours?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, 4:40 PM, temporary tight tank. This is for Phil Cordiero for 6 Union Ave, which was continued from August 4th meeting about installing a temporary tight tank until the existing failed septic system is replaced. Matt, I'll give you that.
Yeah, so we spoke with DEP, or I spoke with DEP, and we sent the engineer and the property owner an email saying that that just can't be done, that they need to submit a plan for us to review for a conventional or an IA septic system for the board to review.
Right.
And so the-
DEP said that this could not happen.
Yeah, so the point, we did send the engineer and the owner telling them that the appointment tonight was canceled, and we did that earlier last week.
Okay. All right, so, we don't have to take a vote on anything, so.
No, there's nothing to really continue, and we haven't received anything yet from any feedback or correspondence or any acknowledgement from our emails to them.
Should we do a formal vote to deny the tight tank based on guidance from DEP? Do we need to do that?
There was never really a plan in front of it, but that is the
Yeah.
core part of it. The plan was based on the ability to install a tight tank and then subsequently at some future date to install a septic system. And Title V is very restrictive on when tight tanks can be used, and Matt reviewed what was being proposed, and DEP said that that was not permittable under Title V.
Right, when they were there the last time, there was a discussion. We asked them to submit formal plans with, actual figures and everything, and they did, but it never made it back to the board to vote on, because between now and then, it just can't be done, so.
That way, okay. Okay, then we can
Yeah,
just
so I
pass
think we
over.
just have to wait for a septic system plan.
All right. You have to talk to the property owner. I'm sorry. Okay, I think we can probably proceed a few minutes early with the 4:50 PM hearing, because I'm sure there's no butter notification on this one. So I'll call the hearing for 33 Newton Street, Raymond and Rosemary Correa, represented by Zenith Engineering, Niall Ziegler. Is that Ziegler?
Zager,
I
yes.
thought it was typo. I
That's
apologize
okay.
for our typos. 3-bedroom repair with a Presby soil absorption system on a 19,960 square foot lot. We did not get this on our tablets, so I have to look at it.
Just for clarity, Zenith could not be here, but they
Yeah,
gave,
I was going to explain.
okay, were you okay?
So, I'm not Niles Zager.
Oh,
I'm James Agia, Tri-Spec
I
Golf. I'm the lead
I recognize
principal
you, but I don't-
consultant. Correct.
okay.
I'm not here to try to replace Niles or anyone from Zenith, but they all had other obligations. Niles asked me if I would please come, and so I'm here. It's a pretty straightforward plan. The design was chosen for several reasons. The backyard is very maturely treed, and the new owners were vehemently against a mounded system. So we tried to work with the property, and fortunately the soils were pretty favorable there. Water table wasn't as we expected, but with a Presby, we still need a pump, but with a Presby we can reduce the mounding significantly and save the mature trees. So it would be it would fit the property, it would fit the neighborhood. We don't need any well setback waivers or anything, so it's a pretty good design, in my opinion.
And the only LUA is the, refresh my memory.
Yeah, distance between the inlets and the
Right. Right.
high groundwater level.
And even at that, we might make it, but it's so close that we didn't want to get the waiver and then not meet that.
Yeah.
on the as-built.
Okay.
So, just one point of clarification, but maybe it's there. So when I was looking on the plan, because there's a lot of information on that one
It's
sheet.
a very
Yeah.
densely packed plan. Better.
Niles
Right,
has
saving
a-
trees. No, I didn't see anywhere as to what the numerical, what's the number that you wanted the waiver from?
12 to 10 inches or 1 inch or.
Yeah, and, because usually it would either be in the plan or that we would say, that there should be a 12-inch situation, but in this case, it's gonna be something less, and I just couldn't find that on the plan. I don't know if
So
you
I
have it.
had a discussion with Niles. I think the number is de minimis. It's very, very small.
Okay,
It's
However,
very small.
We did not perk in that area for obvious reasons because the tanks were there, the
Right.
existing system was there.
oh,
So
okay,
Nile, as a precautionary measure, feels that the modeling may run with the topo, so it may get shallower there, and that's why he was looking for the waiver.
okay. Okay,
So do we want to say up to, how much?
Yeah, well, I think the waiver is because we can't meet the 12-inch requirement, so I think I think we're gonna meet that, but if we don't, we might be within a few inches, maybe 6 inches.
So let's say 6.
Yeah.
We use 6
yeah,
as a
well,
figure.
the regulation sets a maximum, right? I mean,
Minimum.
a minimum.
I
You
think
know
that's
what
what
that
it
I
is?
is.
must have been reading something different. I thought it was much closer than that.
You could go, I think
I
you
was
can go to
just saying
zero.
Yeah, you can go to
You
zero.
can go to zero.
As
Oh,
long as
okay,
it's,
go to zero.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
as
see.
long as it's a
Okay.
watertight connection.
Yep.
Okay, all right, so then it's not
No,
I'm raising a concern that's not really a
No.
concern. Okay,
not, but as long
Okay.
as you meet the buoyancy calculations and it's a watertight connection,
yeah,
it can be submerged.
Mm-hmm.
right, okay, all right.
Since I don't have the plan in front of me, Matt, am I wrong to say that there's only one that it's an inch separation, and then there's others that are less than an inch?
We've had ones that,
Or an inch.
inch, we have had
Yeah.
ones that are zero.
Yes, I had,
Okay,
from the tank, I think I had .77, and then one was 1.02 inches, and then the pump was .73, and the other was .48.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the as-built will show that it exceeds the 12-inch, and I feel confident it will.
Okay,
We
all right.
We don't want to get into
This is
it
just a
and then
precautionary.
submit
Mhm.
an as-built, and then we have to come back after the fact.
Okay,
Okay, I have one request, Mr. Aguirre, if you can pass on
Sure.
to Zenith. If they could update their statement about complying with the Title V, they're still referencing 2016.
Okay,
And they could just take the date out,
noted.
current, just say current Title
So,
V would be
so,
fine.
so noted, thank you.
And they can just annotate this one.
okay.
Just one other request.
Mhm.
Since there is a signature line under that statement, they haven't signed and date it. Otherwise, just take out the signature line and date.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I believe we're ready to proceed to a motion.
So I move that we approve the plans for 33 Newton Street dated 7/29/25. That's the revision for 3-bedroom repair, with the variance of a reduction in separation between the inlet and outlet tees from the high groundwater. And I know it's going to be less than 12, but you're hoping
Say
to
6.
say 6. And then with the following conditions: cold harmless, and a 3-bedroom deed restriction. I believe it had a Concom stamp on it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Second,
Motion made and seconded to approve the project at 33 Newton Street with those conditions. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
See you tomorrow. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Right. Okay. Topics or anything unanticipated or anything for the next regular meeting?
No, I'm good. I
Being
mean,
no further
let's see.
business, I move that we adjourn this meeting at 4:56 PM.
Second,
All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.